Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm attorney Jeffrey Meldon and founder of Meldon Law, and it's exciting to have you watching and listening to the show today. We're going to have a really interesting guest on to help us with how to manage air conditioning in your home, in your office, wherever, and how to make important decisions as far as keeping things cool. We are in Florida, by the way. So do you know that Florida was just this tiny little swamp state up until air conditioning? Air conditioning made Florida. As a matter of fact, the whole Southeast. Can you imagine what it was like living through a hot and humid summer here in Florida with no AC? You'll notice most of the older homes have lots of windows that would open, porches that had screens on them, and big outdoor porches where people could sit at night. So it's very interesting how the evolution of Florida mirrors the evolution in air conditioning. And we're going to have a very interesting guest who's going to talk about how we can make sure that we stay cool at a fair price. This is an incredible week for me. We had a great time this week, and we're preparing for the 50th anniversary of the grand opening of the Great Southern Music Hall in Gainesville, Florida, in what was formerly the Florida Theater, an 800-seat theater, which was built in 1929, and we repurposed it some 45 years later, and it had been a vaudeville stage as well. The Great Southern Music Hall was founded April 26, 1974 by Jim Forsman, who was a local young businessman in his late 20s, and yours truly. I was an aspiring young lawyer with a law firm with 4 or 5 team members, and we had an interest in music. When Jim came to me and told me the theater was available and he had some interest in partnering up on the theater and doing a performing arts theater with lots of bells and whistles, I got excited. I had some background in music. My dad had owned a jazz nightclub, and I had done a lot of concerts during my college career. And before, I had been Tom Petty's first lawyer. I knew a lot of the music folks, Minnie Riperton, who was living in Gainesville at the time. You'll remember her song, Lovin' You. Anyhow, we were all friends, and that's a little background as far as my interest in putting together the music hall. Anyhow, 50 years ago, April 26th, 1974, myself, Jim Forsman, and a bunch of other people that helped us had the grand opening of the Great Southern Music Hall, and there were 2 shows that night by the Earl Scruggs Revue. Now, you may not have ever heard of the Earl Scruggs Revue unless you're a country music fan, but Earl Scruggs is one of the big-time stars of the early days of country music, and he opened up the show. We wound up having incredible artists. We had Jerry Lee Lewis. We had Ray Charles. We had Jimmy Buffett, let's see, Steve Martin, many, many more. I think I counted a dozen Hall of Fame members that showed up. Muddy Waters, Jimmy Cliff. reggae star. We had an incredible array of jazz artists. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, and Return to Forever. The list goes on and on and on. If you get me started, I may come up with every name. Anyhow, it's going to be a party, and you're invited. It's at the Matheson Historical Museum in downtown Gainesville. Look it up, and there's a entry form so you can get free tickets to the event. Food and drink are going to be served, and we're going to start off with a little bit of music. That's the band's doing some custom music for all the art of the music selections that the artist did who performed at the Great Southern. So it's going to be a big party, and then around 7:30, we're going to have a panel of Jim Forsman and myself, along with the talent buyer for the Great Southern Music Hall, Albert T. Badgie, the photographer, very famous photographer, John Moran. He's one of Florida's favorite photographers. He got his first job at the Great Southern, and he's going to talk to you about all the ins and outs of that. And our good friend Barry Sides, who was a young kid from Chicago who wanted to be a blues musician and came to us for a job and started. He wound up running a lot of the artists around kind of as a concierge. So we're going to tell the whole story this coming week. It'll be recorded. I'll let you know where you can hear the edition of the show, of the presentation, in the event you're not able to make it. So, Great Southern Music Hall, 50th anniversary party. We're looking forward to it, and you're invited. Other big things coming on. So, Gainesville is having its first home and garden show in the Alachua County Sport and Event Center out in Celebration Point. We're here in Celebration Point at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. What a place. A museum, a great restaurant, and the epicenter here out at Celebration Point. In addition, last year they completed this sports facility, which is a huge indoor facility where competition for volleyball, track, any indoor sport, basketball, volleyball, whatever the sport is, they're coming to the sports facility to compete. So this year, for the first time, the Home and Garden Show is moving to Celebration Point. And it's great because it's springtime. And what do we do in the spring? We fix up our home, we fix up our garden, and try to make everything as much fun as possible when we come home after a hard day's work. So that's going to be cool. It's April 27th and the 28th. So both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday it opens up at 10 in the morning and goes to 5. And let's see, I think, both days, 10 to 5. It's going to showcase the latest trends in design and the state of art products that are being offered. There's going to be lots of giveaways, and you're going to see a tremendous selection of things for the garden. I know everybody gets excited. My wife Patricia and I love our backyard and our garden, and we're always buying little tchotchkes to fix up the garden and make it a more fun place to retreat to on the weekends and at night. So again, this coming Saturday and Sunday at the Alachua County Sport and Event Center in Celebration Point from 10 to 5. Join us. Another deal going on, this is Lake City, the 13th annual Columbia County Sheriff's Office's their Fins and Pins Bowl-a-thon and Fish Fry. So this is unique because it's not at one venue. They're having it first you go to the bowling alley, then we go over to the fish fry. So at Lake City Bowl is 1 to 3. We're having a bowl-a-thon. And then we're going over to the community fish fry at the Columbia County Fairgrounds Entertainment Building. Come out. Meldon Law is going to be there. It's going to be a blast. And for those of you that haven't been up to Lake City or Columbia County, it's a good way to come and see what's going on over there. We love Columbia County. We opened up our office there almost 3 years ago, and it's been a terrific office for Meldon Law, and we enjoy meeting and serving the people in and around Lake City, all the way over to Live Oak, Jasper. We call that the Tri-County area. So come and join us. A couple other things going on. Gator Baseball. Gator Baseball has been on the downslide. However, we're not out yet. We have a chance. I think there's 4 more SEC series times 3. That's 12 games and a couple games during the week. So we've got about 15 games. We need to win probably at least 10 of them to get into the NCAA playoffs. So let's see if the Gators can get their stuff together and start winning some games. You can get free tickets for all the Gator sporting events, which right now are Gator Baseball and Gator Softball, by going to Meldon Law Facebook page. Just go to your Facebook app, put in Meldon Law, and you will find free tickets that are available. Enter the contest. It's amazing how many winners we have, because we have a lot of tickets for each of the venues, the baseball stadium and the softball stadium. So come in, enjoy it, have a great time. Gator softball, the girls are kicking butt. They're doing great. They swept the series last week and are on a roll. So I think the Lady Gator softball team, they're probably going to be in the NCAA tournament, and they may go a long way. They're good enough to win the whole shebang if things turn out their way. So that's a little bit about what's going on. However, another big deal, for us at least, is a new Dale Carnegie course starting, I think it's May 19th in Gainesville. If you go to Dale Carnegie course and just Google it, it'll come up the Jacksonville office, which kind of controls the territory in Gainesville. Anyhow, we have had 16 team members from Meldon Law go to the Dale Carnegie course because we feel it's so important to get our team members to help the folks in need and be able to deliver services at a top-notch maximum level. And what the Dale Carnegie course teaches you is many different things. How to talk to people, how to act, how to behave, how to learn how to express yourself in better ways. And it all becomes very, very important, not only if we're in court, but leading up to it, because there's lots of opportunities to settle your personal injury case. There's a mediation. Our lawyers at Meldon Law are very skilled in negotiation. A lot of times we get cases settled within 3, 4, 5, 6 months, which is always our goal, to try to get maximum value for your case within a reasonable time period for that case. We focus in on not dragging things out, so long as we get you the maximum benefits available. So give us a call over at Meldon Law, and if you're interested, the Dale Carnegie course, I took it myself. I can highly recommend it, and I think you'll really get a kick out of what it can do to boost your business. We have a lot of businesses like Meldon Law that regularly send team members to the course, and it's been a huge part of our success. Just go to put in Dale Carnegie, Gainesville. You'll probably have the Jacksonville office pop up, and check it out. A life-changing experience. So anyhow, we have been doing really well at Meldon Law, and we want to thank everybody for helping us succeed. It's a great honor to be able to spend our lives helping other people put their lives back together after serious crashes and accidents. So anytime you want an evaluation, give us a call. Anytime you're unsure about your case and whether or not things are being handled the way you want, whether it's our firm or another firm, just call us, and we'll make sure we give you an independent evaluation of what you think you should get and whether or not that jives with reality, because sometimes we can help you, from the standpoint of getting a better result than what you think you might get. I've surprised a lot of people as far as getting them large $1 million plus verdicts over the years. We know how to do it, and if you are involved in a serious crash, accident, give us a call. We're going to take our first break on Meldon Law and Friends, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there. And I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
Albert, Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again!
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey! Somebody hit us!
Here we go again.
After the car accident, your personal life takes a toll when you have major injuries. Being a mother of 3 kids, having to work, it became overwhelming. Didn't know what was going to be my outcome, but Meldon Law actually, they went above and beyond.
At Meldon Law, we're not just your legal team, we're your support system. You do not have to go through this alone. At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law, and it's our pleasure to help everyone out there who has a need. If you've been seriously injured in a accident, we're here to help. Our guest today is Danielle Maxey, who is also here to help. Is that right?
That's right.
In the event that you need top-notch air conditioning and heating during the winter. We are in North Florida, so we need a little bit of heat once in a while.
That's right.
Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier, and you and your husband, Trey, started this great company called Maximum Air Solutions.
Yes.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, it kind of came from our last name.
Which is Maxey.
Yep, which is Maxey. So that's how we got the name.
Oh, I like it. Maximum Air Solutions with Danielle and Trey Maxey.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. So anyhow, tell us a little bit about your family and how this whole business came together. You've been at it for a while now, right?
Yes. So in March of 2019 is when we opened the business. My husband had been in the trade for 13 years. So we figured it was time to...
Instead of getting an hourly wage, you decided you'd be an owner and see how that one worked out, right?
Yep. And it's working out pretty good. So we started the business in 2019, and
how'd it go at first?
it was a little rocky, but it's doing a lot better now. So we're thankful.
Well, you know what? You had to start a business, and then COVID hit shortly thereafter. That must have been really scary for you.
It was, but COVID actually did us some good because people were home and they could no longer put a Band-Aid over that broken air conditioner. They had to get them fixed. So it worked. So.
Well, and people couldn't spend their money traveling and doing other things, so they were like fixing up their home more, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So how long have you and your husband been together?
So we've been married 11 years, and we have 3 kids together,
daughter
and 2 sons. Then I also have 4 dogs, so I'm busy at home.
Yeah, well, who's more work, the 3 kids or the 4 dogs?
Definitely the dogs.
What kind of dogs you have?
German Shepherds.
All of them?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you have pups and keep some of them, or what?
I did. So we had the mom and the dad, and then they had puppies, and we kept 2 of them. So.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So you got a whole family.
Yes, their family moved in with our family. So.
Well, that's kind of neat. So, tell us about some of the things that you deal with every day and how you help folks stay cool.
Okay, so typically a day for me, like a Monday morning, looks like someone who's called in whose AC went out over the weekend, and they're desperate. They're looking for someone to come out today to fix it. Thankfully, we offer 24-hour services, emergency services, weekend, after hours, and I normally get them on the schedule. Trey comes out, or any other technician comes out and takes a look at things, and we get them back up and running as fast as possible.
Well, what happens when you go out there and the unit shot, the compressor shot, or whatever, So
if it's just like a compressor, well, that's not just, it's a big deal. And the age of the unit is older, the technician who's there makes a decision to say, hey, a replacement's probably better than fixing this old unit, or whatever the situation is. They make that that judgment at that time, I guess.
So they explain to the client, we could put this back together. However, you're going to continue to have problems with it.
Right.
In the event that you're interested in getting a new AC, I can give you some quotes on what different levels of AC would work for your home.
That's correct. And we normally try to give people 3 quotes, so a good, better, and best. So then it fits your budget or your needs, whatever you're trying to work with. And one thing about us that we hear from a lot of customers that makes us stand out is we don't say, hey, I'll call you back with your estimate. We give it to you right there on the spot. And a lot of customers seem to like that. So,
well, that's interesting because if you get it quickly, right, then it's number one, moves the project along faster.
That's right.
And number two, it can reduce the anxiety of the customer.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yep.
Because you don't want to think all night about, oh my God, how much is this going to cost me?
Right, right, exactly. So, and then we also offer financing, and a lot of customers take advantage of that because at different times we have different promotions, like 0% interest, which a lot of customers obviously love that. So financing does help a lot of people when they're in that decision, making that decision of, oh my God, my air went out. What do I do now?
Yeah, I mean,
So.
a lot of people, they work hard. They the financial demands are great, and they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And even if they got a little savings, it may not be enough to take care of a replacement for a home air conditioner.
Right, right.
So do you work primarily with, entire home units versus, mini splits and things like that?
So we do whole home units, which is like the air handler and the condenser, I'm sorry. And then we also do mini splits, and we do, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
So what are the mini splits ideal for?
Like spaces that don't have any ductwork. So like they're a ductless heating and air conditioning unit.
Right, yeah. So in our home, we have two of them.
Yep.
One is in the sunroom, which has glass,
Yep.
right? And it's a separate room, right?
Yep.
And so it doesn't have any ductwork. And we have the condenser or compressor, whatever you call it, right outside.
Yes.
And then, so the mini split I'm familiar with. I bought two of them now.
Yeah, so additions and like lanais, spaces that, you're adding AC to. That would be perfect.
Yeah, so you don't
Garage.
always need a new air conditioner for the whole home if you're just trying to cool one space that's not too large.
Right.
So, probably anything up to 600 to 800 feet, a mini split might be able to handle.
We've done them sometimes in the whole home. We have different heads like you put in different areas of the house, and that one thermostat will control it. So like an older house that doesn't have anything existing, we've done that before too. So yeah,
Okay.
They work out well.
Now, what about evaluating an entire home system where you have, one unit, one condenser, you've got the ductwork and stuff. What are some of the things that your clients look for as far as making a decision on what kind of an air conditioner to purchase?
Some people like to just stick with the brands. Like if they've already had a Carrier, they want to go back with a Carrier. Some people are interested in the efficiency, so they might want a 2-stage instead of a 1-stage or single stage. And sometimes people go off the SEER rating as well. I mean, it kind of just depends on what their needs are, I guess is what I would say. Yeah.
So for those of you that know little about air conditioning, like me, I heard the word sear, and I thought it was searing a steak, but no, that's not what it is.
Not what it is.
It's something different. So the SEER rating, it's an energy efficiency rating.
Right, exactly.
And what's happened is over the last 30 years or so, people are really paying attention to how efficient the unit is because electricity costs money.
Yes.
And if your air conditioner is running all the time, it can be a big difference in what your electric bill is, just from an inefficient unit versus an efficient unit.
Right.
So when people, you come out, you take a look at it, assume that the unit's shot. About how long does it take for to get good performance out of an air conditioner?
How many years?
Yeah.
Typically, the lifespan is between 10 and 12 on these units. So
Okay. Yeah, so every 10 to 12 years, you have to invest in a new air conditioning. Sometimes you'll get a little more life out of them.
Right.
I know we had to replace ours, but it had been in the house 18 or 20 years. And however, it was not a very efficient air conditioning, and it was probably costing us a lot more in electric bill than we thought.
And I try to tell people who have those older units, maintenance is key. So we recommend biannual maintenances every 6 months. So if we come out, do a maintenance on your unit, that helps you keep that old unit running as efficient as possible. So I highly recommend that to every homeowner, business owner.
Yeah, and the homeowner should be changing the filters.
Yes.
Right, every month or two, depending on how much dust and dirt and thing is going through the unit. Right?
That's correct. So for homeowners, we try to recommend that they change their filters every 90 days. We try to tell them to get a 90-day pleated filter. And as far as you change the filter, and then we tell them at the same time you're changing the filter, go ahead and pour that half cup of vinegar down the drain line, because that keeps it, that keeps it cleaned out.
Right,
So.
because you can have particles build up and stuff that,
Right.
and once you clog the line, it's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. Yeah.
When people come to you, right, and they've had a carrier unit, for 12 to 15 years, okay, they're asking you, well, I understand it's on its last leg.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want a unit that's going to, perform better. You were talking about the least expensive, the middle of the road, the most expensive. So what would, how do you help the client, based on their budget, of course,
Yes.
decide, what works for them?
So typically what happens is when the technician goes out to give the estimate, we will ask the customer, like, for your needs. So if you say, hey, in my bedroom, it's hot over here, it doesn't get as cool on this side of the house. So that kind of helps, the technician determine what unit they're going to recommend to that homeowner. Another thing that plays a big part in it, if they say, hey, there's a lot of humidity in the house, what do I do about that? So there's certain things that we can recommend to help the homeowner.
Well, that's good. And it sounds like your husband, Trey, has been doing this, 18 years or something?
Yep, 13, yep.
13, well, I thought
13 years in the trade, 5 years in the business, so yes, 18.
Yeah, so he knows a lot.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like this master AC guy that can come out and help you figure out what your needs are.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's really important, because he's not only owner, but he's done a gazillion houses. Do you also do commercial?
We do. So he holds a Contractor B license, which means that we can do light commercial. So we do residential and light commercial. So, yeah.
So if a store owner has a small to moderate size store, then you can come in, evaluate it just like you would a home.
Absolutely.
And, it's funny, because I was talking earlier how critical air conditioning is in Florida.
Yeah.
And that, it's like huge.
Yes.
Right? It really made the state, because for people who weren't used to this kind of weather, going through a summer here without air conditioning is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
You probably run into some people, though, that do that, right?
Yep. That's why I love offering financing, because the financing company that we use works with people with all different backgrounds, walks of life, with their credit and things like that. So if there's anyone who's, in a situation where they don't financially have the money to replace the unit, it doesn't make a big difference.
They can spread it out over a period of time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have known some folks that live without air conditioning, and they're usually very eccentric, because I don't know anybody in their right mind that would do that by choice.
Not by choice.
Not by choice. However, back when Florida was in the early 1900s, 100 years ago or so, Florida was mostly people. Well, there wasn't any air conditioning
No.
100 years ago. So in the 1920s, which is a long time ago, but not that long time ago, right?
You're right.
Everybody in Florida was living here without air conditioning. In fact, it was that way. Here's an interesting fact. The first places that got air conditioning in the 1930s were maybe in the early 30s, late 20s, were theaters.
Really?
Movie theaters, because it would be a draw for the folks to be able to get out at night or whenever and see a show in the comfort of air conditioning. So really air conditioning started with commercial air conditioning. There must have been somebody who figured out how to freeze a block of ice and and put a fan on it, right, and blow over it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was the start of air conditioning.
Yeah,
Or a fan. You see pictures from Egypt 5,000 years ago, and there's always somebody, with the fan, right?
Yes.
They didn't have air conditioning, and they had to get through some brutal summers. So I'm always interested in the maintenance component, because sometimes we slip up on putting in the filter or changing the filter regularly. What happens when you fail to do that?
Not good things. So that filter is there to protect the coil from getting dirt, dust, debris in it. And when you go without having a filter in there, I mean, like I said, that coil gets dirty, the air conditioner shuts down, now you have no AC. So that filter change is more important than
just about anything.
Yeah.
It's like changing oil for a car.
That's exactly what I tell people. You maintenance your car, you maintenance your air conditioner.
Yeah, and so, but it's really easy. I mean, for you folks out there that may not be, the handyman or handy woman, right?
Right.
You can do this.
Yes, absolutely.
You pull off the front, you pull out the old one, you put in a new one.
That's right.
Isn't that how it's done?
Yep, and you're done. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
You got to get the right size. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot or 100 other places.
Yep.
And buy a box of them, and they're not expensive.
Nope.
So, I mean, when the filter gets completely, black and solid, and the air is not moving through it.
Oh, absolutely not.
So it gets warmer in the house as
Yes.
a result as well. It messes up the mechanical parts, and it makes you hotter.
Yeah, the unit can't keep up because it can't run as efficiently as it would with that dirty filter.
There's a billboard down in South Florida that always makes me laugh. They wanted something that was attention-getting. So it's an AC company that has this big billboard that says, "My wife is hot."
That is a good one.
So it's definitely eye-catching.
Yes.
And I guess they built a business on, letting people know you got to take care of your wife and make sure that
That's right.
she's not hot, or at least not when she's in the home.
Yes.
So anyhow, what are some other things you want to tell us about your company, Maximum Air Solutions? Oh, what counties do you operate in?
So we currently do Marion, Lake, Sumter, Citrus, and Alachua.
Okay.
Yep.
So all those counties, Gainesville, Ocala, and all the surrounding areas around there
Right.
are within the service area for Maximum Air Solutions. How do they get a hold of you? Could you give us your phone number?
Yes. So they can give us a call at 352-817-6889, and they'll speak to a nice, friendly voice that'll greet them and get their appointment scheduled. Yep.
Good, and that might be you sometimes.
Yep, exactly.
And it's really important that you get somebody who knows what they're doing and has a helpful attitude.
Right.
And I'll tell you, as an owner, you can be sure that Danielle is going to give you, 100% top-notch service.
Yes.
She's going to be friendly, and whenever there's any serious issues, Danielle is going to be out there to help you. Her husband, Trey, is a master at AC, and he'll help figure out exactly what you need to do in order to get the best air conditioner you can in your home for a price you can afford.
Absolutely.
Financing is available.
Yes.
What's a phone number again?
The phone number is 352-817-6889.
How else can they find you?
You can find us on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/Maximum Air Solutions. And then we also have a website, which is MaximumAirSolutions.com.
Okay. So if you just Google Maximum Air Solutions,
yes,
you will find you. And if you go to Facebook, your Facebook page, and put in Maximum Air Solutions, they'll find you as well,
yep,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I see. When people do this www and all this, I've never done that.
Me either, really.
It's like I Google it,
yeah,
right? And it comes up. So
yeah.
So I always laugh when people go through the long, URL of your company. It's like, just Google Maximum Air Solutions.
That's all you got to do.
Ask for Danielle, and Danielle and Trey will definitely come out, give you well, first they'll fix it if there's a fixable problem. How do you ensure the clients that you're not one of those companies that just pushes them to replace it even though it could be fixed?
We are big on repair, so service is number one. If we can fix it, that's primarily what we want to do. But we always want to give our professional opinion because that's what you called us out there for. So if it makes more sense to replace, then we want to give you that option as well as the repair. So then you can make the decision on what you would like to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like everybody else. Sometimes I'll say, put a Band-Aid on it, and if I get 6 months or a year more work out of it, then that's fine. And sometimes, if I'm feeling rich that day, I'll say, okay, let's replace it. It's going to have to be done, and I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because between our law offices and my home and other things, I'm always dealing with air conditioner issues.
Yeah.
And so I like everybody listening, we're always concerned with getting value. So if you call Maximum Air Solutions, Danielle and her husband Trey will definitely give you a fair shake. They'll let you know if it can be repaired. Most of the time you can repair something, but the idea is it likely to last more than a few months?
Right.
Are you going to be called out again?
Right.
And they'll also teach you how to take care of your air conditioner. So instead of lasting 8 or 9 years, it might last 15 years or more.
Yep, and that's what we like.
That's what we like. Well, it's been wonderful having you on the show today, Danielle.
Thank you.
And I hope that all of our viewers and listeners will remember the name Maximum Air Solutions. Google them, go to Facebook page, whatever. If you can remember the phone number that Danielle gave you, then do it that way. However, check them out. I think that you're going to be very surprised that there's a variation in the quality of service and the pricing that different air conditioning companies give you. So take advantage of a pro. We are so glad to have had you on the show today, Danielle.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And that is a wrap on this edition of Meldon Law and Friends.